So hopefully you've been developing a character that you feel comfortable drawing very easily. One character that I've been working on lately for my new comic strip is a superhero Earthworm character. Here's a cartoonist, and he's creating a comic strip about a superhero Earthworm called Earthworm Comics. And this is a comic strip I'm doing called The Greenhouse. I'm working on it with my friend Peter Menace, who's actually the artist on the strip. I created the superhero Earthworm character because I couldn't think of any other superhero that would be more down to earth than an earthworm. The environment is a passion of mine. It's something I want to write about and something that I want to tell stories to kids about. So I created a superhero Earthworm, and his real name is Wormy, and then when he becomes a superhero, he's Earthworm. I put these little lines across his nose. And yes, he's actually naked most of the time until he decides he's going to become a superhero. I'm happy with my Wormy character. I like him. I want to tell the world stories about Wormy. Now, I've also created friends for Wormy. I created a internet-loving rat named Link. He's got long hair. He wears a army uniform like John Lennon, and he loves John Lennon. And created a sensei, an all-knowing praying mantis, who looks a little bit like Kermit the Frog. Sort of, except when I draw them, and created the people. Todd and Pam are some of them. Their cat, Mange, and I've got the world. So I've got Wormy and his friends who live outside, and Todd and Pam who live inside, and Todd writes a comic strip about a superhero Earthworm character, while there is actually a character who lives right near him who is dreaming of becoming a superhero. So it's an aspiration kind of thing, and if you're fan of Calvin and Hobbes, part of the fun of the strip is that when Todd is working on his ideas, the Earthworm character is alive to him, and he looks a lot like the character that Wormy, the real worm, aspires to be and dreams of himself being. So what do we do with it? I've got these characters. Now you may have your own character who happens to be Mr. Block, who sits around and observes people, and the Flower, and they have thoughts, and this is your comic strip, Block and Flower. Maybe your comic strip is about Bill the stick figure mouse. Maybe it's about a bird, but you're going to tell us a story. Our final unit is where you pull this all together and you find a format that works for you. You draw the character multiple times and you tell the stories. There's going to be, if you choose a multi-panel comic strip, you're going to have to do a few of those. If you're doing the single panel comic, you're going to have to do a few of those. And the meme, you're going to have to do a few of those. The point of this is to get you comfortable telling the story and letting us get to know your character, just like a professional cartoonist who gets hired to do a comic strip does. It gives you the chance to draw the character over and over, repeat that, figure out a style, figure out a way of inking, little things you might be adding. The essence of becoming a good cartoonist is drawing a character over and over again, and then experimenting with what you can do with that character. Like I said, it doesn't have to be phenomenal drawings of superheroes saving the world. It can be just a flower. It gives you a chance to take your character and experiment with it. Tell us what goes on with that character. Why are you drawing that character? Why does this character speak to you? What does the character mean to you? And that, I think, is the essence of being a good cartoonist, is being able to tell the stories. So you're going to have to experiment with different kinds of boxes. Maybe your comic strip is just one big long panel and you have little squiggly dividing lines, if that's what suits you. What kind of marker you use. Maybe you don't use a marker. Maybe you do it all in pencil and then you do it in a colored crayon. I don't know it all. I want you to show me what speaks to you, what your character says to you, and how you're going to tell the world what's inside that character. So have fun with that.